Hi, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful day today. I was gone at an evaluator approval course that the state requires in order to keep my administrative license, but it was a very good course called Fierce Conversations, and I hope everybody had a great day at Stewart, though, today, too. Last week, our social contract raters had discussed one of the areas they wanted to see improvement in was communication across kind of all areas, and so I had some things I wanted to communicate, plus there were some things that were brought to me that were just some areas that needed clarified, and instead of having a big meeting and spending more time doing meetings, I thought that this video hopefully would kill two birds with one stone, be able to communicate and respect your time and not have to have a face-to-face with it. First off, PLCs start this week. Our kindergartens met today, our first grade meets tomorrow, and Thursday is our second grade. We'll focus on learning support team meetings this year, what those will look like, and any questions that you have to help clarify so you don't have any confusion going into the learning support team meetings. And then also to look at your assessments to make sure that we have everything down correctly of what you're using for screeners and what you're using for diagnostics. So just getting all those assessments visually down on a page so we can make sure we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing. Next, our parent-teacher conferences got moved up this year, as we all know. If you remember back to our meeting last year, we had a decision to either move them up, keep them the same, which was like mid-October, or push them further back in the year. We decided to move them up for a couple reasons. The first one being we kind of wanted to make that positive impact early on our parents and help build that relationship early, kind of put our best foot forward and be very welcoming and have that feel where they can feel very comfortable with having their child come here and starting that earlier than later. The second reason is we were kind of assessing, it seemed like, in September, and then we would do it again in mid to late October for the conferences, and then we would do it at the end of the trimester in November, and so we were doing lots of assessing that seemed kind of redundant, so pushing it up made sense. With that. But some of you, because of the conference being so much earlier, there were some questions on how that conference should look, and just some questions on what order things should go in, what should you talk about. And so our grade level coordinators are going to meet tomorrow with me. We'll probably try to come up with a block kind of plan or agenda for you that if you are somebody who's kind of concerned about what that could look like, hopefully you could use this as a resource to help you go through your conference. But if you don't need that and you feel completely comfortable, you don't need to use that either, but hopefully we can just give a little guidance for those of you who are kind of concerned and don't quite know what that conference could look like. Next, our PD session on Wednesday. If you remember, we're asking that you come at 1:30, and from 1:30 to 1:45, even though I think it'll take longer than this, we're going to try to start getting some of our sibling conferences planned. So bring those conference slips, especially the ones who have siblings, and we'll start with them scheduling, and if you can get those done, then you can work to your other students, start placing them in your conference schedules. So we'll do that from 1:30 to 1:45, and then at 1:45, the PD team will take over. Unfortunately, I can't be there. My daughter has her yearly MRI with her neurosurgery team in Iowa City, so I will have to be there to help support her through that. Last two things, for anyone who missed our pre-school days social contract work, I'm going to do an extra session so everybody understands how we created that social contract and our sideways thumb, how we're holding each other accountable. And so I'll do that, I think next Wednesday is the date I'm planning on doing that. And then I'll also do the cooks as well on that date to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And then last, we're really going to introduce our white and blue tickets for something to reinforce the kids. Now that we've taught all the expectations, kind of the honeymoon's over, now is when we kind of need that shot in the arm and give that positive reinforcement when kids are doing the right thing. So we'll be sending some information out on that in the next week or so. So hopefully everybody has a great rest of the week, and if you have any questions on anything we talked about today, feel free to come on down and ask or shoot me an email. Thanks, and have a great one.